What's up, it's me, John again. Real quick, I work in IT and I also used to be a tech instructor. Lately, I find myself helping people study for the Security Plus exam. So for today's breakdown, by the end you'll have a better understanding of how to answer questions about reverse proxies and Nmap, and you'll also know a great way to get some hands-on experience with discovering hidden network vulnerabilities that you can put on your resume. Okay, let's get going. Question number 16. Asia, the IT director, is in search of a solution to improve the scalability and flexibility of the back-end infrastructure, ensuring that updates and modifications can be made without disrupting services. Her goal is to reduce the demand on back-end server resources. It's been noted that session persistence isn't necessary for the applications being used. Which of the following would be the best fit? Reverse proxy, automated patch management, snapshots, or NIC teaming? This situation requires a system that can handle more users and changes without overloading the servers or causing downtime. And since the system doesn't need to track users, each request can be processed independently. Let's go over the options. Snapshots are used to capture the state of a system or virtual machine at a specific point in time. They are useful for backups or quickly restoring a system, but they don't contribute to scalability or flexibility in managing traffic or reducing server load. They're more relevant for disaster recovery than for ongoing infrastructure management. Automated patch management is a process that automatically applies updates and patches to software and hardware. While this is important for security and maintenance, it doesn't directly address the needs of scalability, flexibility, or reducing demand on server resources as described in the scenario. NIC teaming, or network interface card teaming, is a technique that combines multiple network adapters into a single unified connection. This approach enhances the performance and reliability of network connections by allowing several adapters to work together as a team rather than relying on just one to handle all data traffic. Just in case you don't know, network adapters are where we plug our network cables to connect to a network. While most systems may use a single network adapter, NIC teaming leverages multiple adapters to create a stronger, more reliable network connection. This is useful in high-demand scenarios like data centers or web hosting services. While NIC teaming improves network performance and reliability, it doesn't address the need to reduce back-end server load or enable smooth updates. Instead, a reverse proxy is more suitable. Here's why. Let's say you own an online store and you have 3 servers that handle all the website traffic. When a customer visits your store, their request to view products is sent to the reverse proxy. The reverse proxy then decides which of the 3 servers is least busy and forwards the request to that server. This way, each server only handles a portion of the traffic, making the system more efficient and preventing any single server from being overwhelmed. As your online store grows and more customers visit, you might need to add more servers to handle the extra traffic. With a reverse proxy, you can easily add these new servers and the proxy will automatically start directing traffic to them. This allows your store to handle more users without any trouble. If one of your servers needs maintenance or an update, you can temporarily take it offline without affecting your customers. The reverse proxy will simply send all traffic to the remaining servers, so your store stays up and running smoothly. Once the maintenance is done, you can bring the server back online and the proxy will start using it again. If your website doesn't need to remember which server a customer was connected to, which means session persistence isn't necessary, the reverse proxy can send each new request to an available server. This reduces the load on individual servers and keeps everything running efficiently. For all of these reasons, the answer here is A, reverse proxy. Alright, on to 17. Ben, a recently hired pentester, has successfully compromised an internal corporate server and is attempting to move laterally within the network from the current session. Which of the following tools, if accessible on the server, would offer the most valuable information for determining the next step? A, autopsy, B, cuckoo, C, mdump, or D, nmap? In this situation, Ben has access to an internal server and wants to explore other parts of the network. He needs tools that can provide useful info for his next steps. Here's a quick look at each tool and why one might be more helpful than the others. Okay, so Autopsy is a digital forensics tool used by law enforcement, military, and corporate examiners to investigate what happened on a computer. While it's useful for forensic analysis and recovering evidence from hard drives, it's not designed for network discovery or mapping internal network connections. These two actions are more critical for lateral movement in a network. Cuckoo is an open source malware analysis tool used to analyze suspicious files and monitor their behavior in a controlled sandbox environment. It can be used to analyze DLL files, PHP scripts, PDF files, and a whole lot more. Since Cuckoo is primarily used for analyzing malware behavior, this would not be the solution Ben needs for assessing the network for lateral movement. Memdump is a tool used for dumping the memory of a running process of the entire system. It can be useful for various purposes. For example, by dumping the memory of a process infected with malware, analysts can examine the malware's behavior, extract configuration files, and identify command and control servers. Memdump can be used to extract sensitive data such as encryption keys, API keys, plain text passwords, or other confidential info from memory. In the context of the original question, Memdump is not the most valuable tool for determining the next step in lateral movement. The primary goal of using Memdump is to extract info from memory, not exploring the network. So that leaves Nmap, which is the correct answer. Now here's why. Ben has already compromised an internal corporate server. We'll call that server A. Now he wants to move to another server on the network that contains sensitive data. Ben can use Nmap to scan the network and gather information about additional servers on the network. Side note, if you're listening to this on a podcast, I'll include the Nmap command Ben will use in the output he sees. Okay, so here's an example of a command Ben can use in Nmap to gather info about other hosts on the network. This command scans the 192.168.1.0 Class C network range, identifying all live hosts, open ports, and services running on each host in that network. Here's an example output from Ben's command entry. To keep things brief, let's keep network discovery to this one server. From this output, Ben learns that there's another host on the network called Server B. Server B has an open SSH port 22 with a potential vulnerable open SSH version. The reason why it's potentially vulnerable is because open SSH 7.2p2 is an older version released in 2016. Newer versions have addressed various security vulnerabilities which might still exist in this older version. Also, Server B has open HTTP port 80 and HTTPS port 443, indicating a web application is running. With this info, Ben can plan his next steps, such as exploiting the vulnerable open SSH version to gain access to Server B, or using a tool like Burp Suite to scan the web application for more vulnerabilities. By using Nmap, Ben can gain valuable insights about other hosts on the same network as the compromised server he's accessed, allowing him to determine the best course of action for lateral movement. By the way, if you're interested in getting hands-on experience using Nmap, check out tryhackme.com. TryHackMe offers interactive rooms and challenges designed to help you learn how to scan networks, identify open ports, and uncover hidden vulnerabilities. This is a great way to get experience using Nmap for network reconnaissance. Check out the link in the description. Also, make sure you're subscribed so you can get more Security Plus exam question tutoring breakdowns like this one. If you want to reach out for help or inquire about my personal tutoring services, check out the Tech or Die contact link in the description of this episode. Remember, success is a choice. Make your future now and subscribe so you can manifest your cybersecurity goals with the next episode.